get your Red Bull out because we're going to need some extremely high energy to keep up with our guests.
LinkMe, it's really like a one-stop shop page to turn followers into customers. All the biggest people in the world started to use it, including NBA players like Anthony Edwards, big influencers like iShowSpeed. Just being a founder, you need to learn business.
No way would I invest in a kid this young. And
the base version of LinkMe is free. We have a section on our platform that's literally called Make Money.
Good afternoon and welcome to the podcast. Today it's going to be an episode like you have never heard before. So get your Red Bull out because we're going to need some extremely high energy to keep up with our guests. Net Cohn is the CEO of a company called LinkMe, and there are so many ways that I can introduce this company. I think the way that I want to go about introducing it though is that this is the type of company where, at least I personally, and full disclaimer, I bet on the jockey. When you hear Net talking about his company and his experience and the passion and where they're going, I'm telling you, his energy is contagious and you're not going to help yourself but getting excited, and apply it to your business as well. So with that introduction, we are talking about a company here that is, I think, valued at over $100 million. I'll also tell you that Net is in his 20s. I don't know the exact age, 25, 26, which adds
25,
to
yeah.
25, which adds to the phenomenon. And I'm going to stop talking. So Net, thank you so much for joining us from Miami. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me and for believing in LinkMe, because you're an early investor.
I'm an early investor.
I think you're a few years old already on the investor club here. Yeah,
it's true, and I can tell you that I've seen the growth and the excitement, and it just continues to inspire everybody that you come in touch with. So let's do this. Why don't you give us a high-level overview of what LinkMe is as a company, and then we'll backtrack in terms of who you are, how you got into this.
Yeah, for sure. So LinkMe, it's really like a one-stop shop page with everything you want to show people all in one place, right? So you could put all your social media, including LinkedIn for the old school guys, TikTok, Snapchat for the younger generation, Instagram as well. And it kind of ties it all together. And then on top of that, we give people a suite of tools to monetize their audience. So to turn followers into customers. And we kind of just built the whole platform around that idea of let's build the sexiest one-stop shop. And then all the biggest people in the world started to use it, including NBA players like Anthony Edwards, big influencers like iShowSpeed, even like old school rock star type of guys like Kid Rock is using it. So a lot of big names. Another one that's maybe a little on the political side, Benjamin Netanyahu, but a lot of big people use it. Yeah, we're doing really well.
Well, listen, anybody who has come into contact with your website, everything about it is, how do I describe it? It's just like high energy, fresh, colorful, dynamic, energetic. Even the background behind you now, for those of you that are listening instead of watching, like it's just like popping. So I guess my question is, what is your background? Is it graphics? Is it design? Is it business? Is it technology? Give us a bit of the journey of where you started from and how you got to start the company.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll tell you, it's actually a combination of a lot of those. So I did do a lot of tech growing up. So a lot of, kind of started with a game called Minecraft. I built a Minecraft server. You need to mess around with tech to do that. So that was kind of like my first, dive into the tech industry. And that was at 13 years old. So I was a kid. Then as I got a bit older, I started to learn how to do design in school, actually. Shout out my school that I went to, my high school, Crop Senior High. One of the classes, it was an elective called design class, whatever. So they taught us how to use Photoshop, Illustrator, all these Adobe tools for designing. And that was really where I learned, actually. I had like the design intuition, meaning like I knew what felt right and what looked nice. And then using those tools, it just let me kind of, paint my picture, right, with these amazing tools. And then in high school, I really started to work on apps. So the two came together, design and tech. And now, just being a founder, you need to learn business. Like you can't be a founder and not know how to run a business. So I learned all three kind of over the years growing up. Now I'm 25. So over like the last 10 years, I just figured out the business side of it, had the little, tech and design side of things nailed down. And yeah.
To your credit, I think the first time we met was at a conference in Boca or Miami, I forget which one. And at first I was like, no way would I invest in a kid this young and not that I'm so old, but still, it was like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna just roll the dice. But hearing you speak in terms of your passion and your energy, I'm like, this kid is not gonna sit still. What also was interesting is that you seem to have public company business in your DNA. Your dad
Yeah,
has been involved in the public markets as well, right?
100%. Yeah, so my dad took his company public. I think it was like maybe 2022. They did a Nasdaq direct listing. So that was really nice. I got to ring the bell with him. It was like me and like all of his team also with us. My little brother as well was with us. So it was really cool because I saw him like growing up in the last 20 years of my life since he started his company. This guy works, 24/7, including Shabbat, which I'm a bad guy for keeping Shabbat. He tells
Good for
me
you.
so.
You're not a bad guy at
No,
all. At
I
all.
know, but you know how it is with business
Yeah.
guys like that. So he's really like 24/7 just been pushing on this company. And to see him, just from an idea growing up, seeing it like come to life and then, doing a NASDAQ IPO was something unbelievable. So definitely, yeah, a lot of the business stuff, like I tell people, I'm super blessed to grow up around it. It's kind of like natural, right? It's like literally
Right.
like in the
Right.
DNA. I just grew up around it. So for me, it's
It
like the
makes a
norm, you
difference.
could say.
It definitely makes a difference. And listen, so,
Yeah,
take it from somebody like me who I've been at just a couple of bell ceremonies over the last 20 plus years. It never gets
yeah.
old, but God willing that when it's yours, and I've no doubt that that will come in the right time. It's going to be
Hmm.
exciting. I hope to be there with you. But let me ask you this. At the end of the day, I am a bit old school where I'm like, I have a business, I have a product, I make $1, or it costs me $1, I sell it for two. With LinkMe, what's the business model? Like, how are you guys making money? How are you looking at valuation, things like that?
Yeah, for us, the biggest thing, and for this, I love, by the way, Zuckerberg, his whole motto about this of like, you build the best product, make the users happy, retain the users, make sure they actually stay on there, and you'll figure out ways to make money. So that's kind of our motto starting this business. Let's go all in on best product, make people happy. And just this year, literally a few months ago, we actually just started to really do our first set of, you could call it revenue testing to see what's the best way forward. And right now, we're seeing the best thing so far is subscriptions. So we have people now basically paying for either $10 a month, which is like LinkMe Plus, we call it, or $20 a month for LinkMe Pro. Now, the two are very similar. One of them is more for professional creators and influencers that they want access to so many different tools that literally help them turn all the followers into customers. And the other one's more simple for like the standard creator that just wants to showcase their nice page, have everything there. The base version of LinkMe is free. So what we recently did is we said, let's test these subscriptions, see what happens. Our first month that we launched the subscriptions, I think we crossed like 100K in annual recurring revenue just from tests. We didn't send out an email, no texting. We didn't annoy all the users. Only new people who signed up saw an A/B test, which one of these to grab. And then we saw, okay, it's looking nice. So let's keep testing this, pushing it more and more. We just now, like, fast forward a few months. As of today, I think literally today we crossed 500,000 in annual recurring revenue. And this is just something we did in the last few months. Haven't sent an email. We're not doing any promotions for this. This is something where you sign up for the first time as a new person now, and you see the A/B test. What do you want, Pro or Plus, or skip it and just go use it for free? Now, it's really nice to see that people are ready to pay us, like just to use the platform. And we kind of saw this would happen because even when people hear it's free, the first thing they're like, what's the catch? Like, what do I got to pay? Like, what's behind? Like, there's no way it's free. It's too beautiful of a page. That's what people tell us. Like, they can't
Right.
believe how beautiful it is and that it doesn't cost anything. So then we need to disarm them by saying, no, same model as Instagram. Businesses come, they do advertising, this, that, which we also have that component of the company where literally a business can come and run an ad on LinkMe too. So there's a few different ways. I would kind of, to simplify it, subscription, data, business advertising, and also like you could say enterprise deals as well, which an enterprise, like we have agencies now that they come in with like 1,000 creators and they manage all of them through one LinkMe account. And we'll charge them thousands of dollars a month for that package to manage all these accounts under one umbrella. There's a few ways,
I
but
think
that's kind
I
of high
think what's
level.
great.
Yeah.
I think what's great is you seem to be, like you said initially, you're pivoting by, what the audience and the market is telling you is a need. I also saw, which I thought was pretty creative, and you've done a great job of this ever since I know you, is you are like Mr. Link Me swag. I think a couple months ago you sent me a couple sweatshirts. I've got those. I gave one of them to my kids. You've been really good in the promotional side of things, but in a classy type of way. But I saw as well where all of these celebrities and athletes and influencers, they can sort of create their own swag and product and apparel and
Yeah.
things like that. Tell us about that.
So that's something really cool. It's actually probably one of the most exciting features that we recently launched because it basically allows anyone with an idea and a following, an audience, to go monetize that audience with their idea. Because it's not limited to just like a hoodie or a hat. We just did like slides, for example. And I'm going to bring you so you can see real products with the AI that we made. They'll be blown
Okay.
away. Some of these are unbelievable. I'm grabbing a backpack over here so you can see. And pretty much this is a backpack I made with the AI, right? So this feature allows you now to think, right? I want to create a bag to sell my fans, right? Something classy, business style. Maybe it says like, keep crushing it, 10x, work hard, whatever, right?
Right.
So if you have this idea, you go now to LinkMe, right? We have a section on our platform that's literally called Make Money. That's the name of the section. When you click on it, there's many ways to make money. You can, sell a digital product like a course or whatever. You can even go have your fans send you a tip. If they want to send $10, send you a little note. Love what you do, Seth. Keep it up. They can do all that. And one of the features lets you create and sell merch, right? Now, this is a backpack I made. I'm going to show you another product. This with the AI, I made also a bathing suit, Dubai bathing suit. This was the prompt, a Dubai bathing suit, right? And it's not just like pants that look like a bathing. It's actually a bathing suit,
Right.
like
Yeah.
very cool. So anyway, the way it works is pretty simple. We actually signed a pretty good deal with a global distribution partner, and it's the same one Coca-Cola is using. So it's a very established company worth billions of dollars. They have fulfillment centers globally. So if we create now a product and we're selling it and someone buys it from the US, the second the order comes through, we have an API connection to the distributor. They receive your address, the design of the product, and then they go ahead and ship it out to you and produce it as well. So LinkMe, we don't do any of that. We're just a tech partner that on the front end handles the processing of the payment, everything, sends it over to you so you get a cut in your bank. The creator basically is making that profit, and the rest of the money goes to the distributor. And us, we take our little small percentage of every sale. So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And if you have a logo, you upload it. So it's not like we force you to use the AI. So if you have a logo, you could upload it. Any designs you want to upload, you could do that. But for people that have nothing, they can just type in, cool Miami background with the person on a jet ski, right? Boom. And it'll make that for you, put on a shirt, start selling. So yeah.
That's awesome. The verticals and I guess the applications are just starting to show itself, and I think you guys are going to do amazing different things,
Yeah.
out of the box things. Talk to me for a minute about what it's like to raise money, because being a tech company, I have to imagine that the number of engineers and designers and programmers and all that,
Not cheap.
it's not cheap. It's not
It's not
cheap.
cheap.
I'm the first to admit that in all the companies that I've been able to start, scale, and sell, they've been service companies, not tech companies. The one time I tried a tech company, it like choked me in terms of, having to deal with all the engineers and the programming.
Yeah.
Talk to me of what it's like to raise capital, what it's like to raise capital at a young age, and any advice for people that are starting out a company where it's capital intensive and they need to just find investors, approach investors.
Yeah, so I would say when you're starting off, I think you should actually bootstrap as much as possible, just so that you can really build into a valuation where you're not giving away your entire company on that first round. Our first ever round, I already had an MVP. So I already had a product to show investors and say, this is the app. It's not live, but this is how it looks. This is how it works, whatever. And I was very fortunate to actually have a company before LinkMe where I was building apps for people. So I came from the tech world. From you, I got the MVP done in a few days. Like I literally jumped on a call. I told my team, this is what I want. The next day I had version 1. Like obviously it took a few more weeks to make it perfect, but after we had that MVP, it allowed us to raise, I believe it was like $800,000 was our first round on a 20 million valuation, right? So that was an amazing thing, like with basically nothing, right? You had just an
Right.
app to show people.
Right.
So if you look at Peter Thiel, he did a really nice video that was on stage. They were asking him a question about companies fundraising. And he said with PayPal, when him and Elon kind of merged the companies, they had a valuation, I believe like 60 million valuation, something like this. And then 3 months later, they raised on a 500 million valuation. And all the investors were like, what the hell changed in 3 months that it went from
Right.
6,500? He's like, we're not even looking to the past. We're looking to the future. It's going to be worth 5 billion. So you're coming at a discount to the future. So it's a very cool thing where I saw that video. I was like, he's right. If LinkMe now, with God's help, can reach tens of billions of dollars, why would I even talk about my past round when I'm looking to the future?
But to
Yeah,
your credit, you have to have a lot of, I don't want to say arrogance because it's
yeah.
not.
You
You
got
have
to
to
be
have a lot of
confident.
confidence
You
to
need to
sell
be a
that.
bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. You got to be crazy, confident, and actually have a product that has that potential. Because if you can't really teach the investor and make him really believe in that potential, you're not going to raise 1 cent. But if the
Right,
investor even says, you know what, there's probably a 1% chance they'll do it. Here's 100 grand. A lot of these
right.
guys are so wealthy. 100 grand for them is like $100 for me. It's like so. There's a lot of these guys, especially when you're dealing with like ultra successful, like people that are worth $1 billion. I've seen it many times where they don't believe 100%, but like there's a chance this kid could do something. Here's half a mil, literally, and it's
Right.
like half a mil for them is a joke, but for an investment for a company like us, it's amazing. So
Sure.
anyway, so yeah, I would say build as much as you can at that first round, just so you have a nice valuation. Try to raise your first round as high as possible, so you're not giving away your whole company, and raise what you need, right? Raise exactly what you need to get to that next step. And then once you show, look, I started to do this and that I said I would do when you guys came in, jump to that next level. And as you get bigger and bigger, really look at that like invest what you need situation, because people like to sign agreements and give away half their company. And you hear a lot of these sad stories where a founder worked his ass off for 10 years and they sold the company and he didn't even get paid because the preferred
Yeah, you
stock
hear
of the
that all the
VC
time.
cleaned him
Yeah,
up, right?
yeah.
And he got
All
nothing. He
all
built
the
it
time.
and the VCs got paid. Be careful with the preferred situations too. Believe it or not, we've never actually given anyone preferred stock. I have the same shares as all my investors. We all have the same class. So there's many things I would say to watch out for, but I guess that was a few points
No,
there.
that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. And I want to be mindful of your time, but one or two more points to pick your brain at. Let's say, for example, me. So my audience is, say, 1,000 CEOs, public companies, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. They're not influencers. They're not artists. They're not music. Like, how can LinkMe benefit them?
I'll tell you,
CEO.
first of all, they need to fix their mindset immediately and become influencers, because everyone today is an influencer, right? You look at the biggest companies in the world, everyone knows who the CEO is. He's vocal, he's on TV, he's talking, he's posting on X, right? Twitter's a big platform for these guys. So I would say to kind of, first of all, before you even talk about LinkMe, fix your whole mindset of what it means to be a CEO and be out there, be vocal, film yourself, go on podcasts, get the name out there of the company, right? Talk about it. That's the first thing. Once you do that, and people laugh at me like, what CEO goes on? I'm like, go look at the CEO of McDonald's every day posting on Instagram. Look at the new French fries today, guys. Let me try it. Literally, that's what he's doing on Instagram. And it works. He's getting millions of views. The company's loving it. The people are loving it. It becomes more personal, because McDonald's, you look at it as like a corporate, like a scary corporate company. Now you see a face, you like the CEO, you're excited about it. So that's a big thing I would say. Get your face out there. Once it's out there, use LinkMe to basically show everything you have so people can find you across the board, right? So if you're a company now and you have millions of followers on TikTok and you just started promoting your Instagram page with content, people see your Instagram, they think you're not a big company, they think you're small. But when they go to your LinkMe from your Instagram, so they click on link.me, right, / the name of the company, it takes them now to this beautiful page that says, no, they have a total of 5 million followers. And when you click it, it shows where they're big. So they can see, oh, TikTok, they're huge. Then they jump to your TikTok, check you out there. So LinkMe is helping you kind of spread the awareness across the board. But yeah.
No, that's great. And kudos to you, even in terms of the name. Like the first time we met, I'm a big LinkedIn guy, not so much Instagram and X, but to the point where, my company, Share Media, that's all we do is we do LinkedIn management. When I saw LinkMe, I'm like, oh, okay, it's connected to LinkedIn, but it's not. It's so much more than that. So
Yeah.
I think that you're right. A lot of these CEOs, they have to recognize that they are a media company first, and then it's whatever you do, biotech, pharma, things like that. Okay, as
Yeah.
we wrap up, where do you see the company in 3 to 4 years, 5 years?
I'll
What's
tell
the
you,
vision?
people think I'm crazy, but I truly believe, especially when you consider the rate that the creator economy is growing, they're saying by
Right.
2034, I believe it's going to be 1.2 or 1.3 trillion with a T. So if you look at the creator economy, and over the next few years, you assume LinkMe, with God's help, can control, let's just say, 10% of that. We have the ability to be a 100+ billion dollar company. And now people are probably saying this kid's crazy, he's out of his mind. So let me actually frame it even better. When a company came one day and said, it's so hard for people to make websites and sell products, someone came and started something called Shopify. And it was just a simple website builder. You come, put your products, cookie cutter, very simple. Today, that's a $200 billion market cap public company. I think, the biggest company in Canada, actually. They're publicly here in the US. And I look at that and I say, what Shopify did for e-commerce, if LinkMe can do this for creators, the sky is the limit. It's really like, for us, it's very doable. And if I miss 100 billion and land on a few billion, I don't think any of my investors will complain. But anyway, I truly believe with the right, effort here, and we have the potential to do it, it could one day be a 100+ billion dollar company. And people think I'm crazy when I say it, but I truly believe it.
No, I believe it when you say it, because you say it with such confidence. And so, I'd love nothing more than to see that. Well, Nat, thank you so much for the time. I'm actually going to be in Fort Lauderdale in a couple of weeks. Would love to catch up.
Nice.
Maybe we can swing by the office, see
You
the
gotta. You need to see the office, because with God's help, we're also working on getting an even bigger office that I'm going to show you when you're here. I'll take you up to see it. It's unbelievable. Same building, but like, we're going to take over Miami with this one. When you're here, you'll see it.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
Where can people reach out to you or get more information about the company?
Yeah, link.me/net, N-E-T. Literally, link.me/NET, net, like Netflix. That's my page. My whole life is on there. You'll find me.
Love it. Thanks for the time. Talk to you soon.
Awesome. Talk soon.